It's a 3-night marathon of The Voice! Hey fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertanton.com, coming to you with your no frills, The Voice commentary from a singer. And tonight is The Voice Playoffs, and we also have a comeback artist. Y'all know we've been waiting to see who the comeback artists are. Well, we have them here for you. TeamJHud and TeamBlake go up tonight, and only 3 artists will be left standing on each team, and they decide tonight. Oh my God, the coach is gonna pick their 3 tonight at the end of their segment. Tomorrow night, the show is a 1-hour show. It starts at 8 p.m. But Wednesday night, remember this, the show starts at 9 p.m. Again, it's a 1-hour show, so one team will be going up each day. And Davon Fleming kicked it off for TeamJHud. He did I Am Changing. Look at me, look at me. Oh, by Jennifer Holliday, one of my favorites of all time. So on stage, Davon started out in the dark, and that little me riff he did was everything. I love the tone and timbre of his voice. It has such a high tint, but he still sounds like a guy singing. The melody changes in the song were excellent and exciting, and most importantly, they sounded good and fit his style well. He hit the modulation with a finesse and made it look easy, but he was working hard up there. Let me tell you, this song ain't easy. And JHud threw her boot at him at the end. Miley told him that he's going to the lives. Blake told him he should be going and getting in his limo right now. You know, talking about how fierce he was and that he's a star and all that good stuff. Hannah Mrozak was next. She did Learn to Let Go by Kesha. In rehearsal, JHud told her that she wanted her to feel the story of the song. On stage, Hannah was attacking these lyrics and her voice sounded really great, though the band was a little loud and taking a little bit of her shine for me. She was trying to embody the lyrics and really perform the feelings in the song. Her voice stayed clear as she paced the stage, going in and out of her head voice with just a little noticeable effort, but I wasn't really feeling the big note, and though I saw the emotion she was working up, it really didn't touch me. Did it touch you? Let me know down in the comments. Adam said she gave an amazing idea of who she is. Blake said he was mesmerized by her performance. JHud said a star is born tonight. Next we had TeamJHud's comeback artist. It was Holliday, and he did the Beautiful Ones by Prince and the Revolution. So in rehearsal, she told him that all he has to do is sing the song, but also told him to be a singing fool. So I'm like, just sing the song, but be a singing fool? Oh, okay, whatever. Lucas started out with the falsetto vibrating on the beginning of this and made me realize what I had wanted in his last few performances. I was really missing that good falsetto he was giving. He had a few pitch issues, but he was really performing the song to his coach as if his life depended on it. I was really rooting for him, and he wailed out as he fell to his knees and also had getting the chills and stuff. And I think he really did that. It wasn't his best vocal, but it sounded pretty good. Miley noticed that the room was lit. Blake said he wanted to see it again and again. And if you want to see me again and again, please make sure to thumb up the commentary and let me know that you're enjoying it. We are getting into the meat of the show now, and tonight was, these next few nights actually going to be just heartbreakers because half of the people are going home. Let me know down in the comments who you thought should have stayed. If you thought something should have been different, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your thumbs. Cheyenne Jones was up next. She did Tattooed Heart by Ariana Grande, and in rehearsal, JHud told her not to listen to the original anymore so that she could make it her own and do her own thing. This started out on stage a little muted and messy to me, but she displayed some great runs and some rich low notes. Her whistle note came out and she really surprised me, and she was working her way into the emotion of the song. The modulation was a little shaky, but didn't go off too much, and she was on point within a few notes. Really good ear. That means she was really listening and she could hear what was going on, and she got herself on track. She seemed just a little shy up there, but I was enjoying her vocals immensely. Miley said she liked that her riffs were quick and fun and her range was awesome. Blake called her his favorite artist on anyone else's team, saying there is something special about her whenever she gets on stage. Then there was Chris Weaver. He did California Soul by Marlena Shaw, and he was singing his heart out in rehearsal, and JHud mentioned the way he rolled the hook, but told him to find the finessing and swing in the verses. On stage, he started out by engaging the crowd and gave a wail before the verse started and then launched headlong into the groove. I was tapping my feet and shaking my head, and this was strong, but he found places to lay in the groove and even did a little bit of two-step up there. I'm just glad the audience wasn't voting because this song was kind of forgettable. Miley called him A+. Adam told JHud that he should never be let go, and Blake told him we've never seen a softer Chris Weaver, but called him incredible. Last for TeamJHud was Noah Mack. He did In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. And let me tell y'all before I even go into this, I predicted Chris, Cheyenne, and Davon as like the artists that were going forward. But then Noah produced the track for the song and came to rehearsal with an arrangement for the band. TeamJHud told him he needed one money note during the performance, but that was pretty much his notes, right? I was riveted to the screen as Noah started this out in his lower register. It was soft and crisp, and it felt like he was pulling me into what he was doing. He wasn't bringing it out. He was saying, I gotta make you. He was like, you gotta come to me and listen to what I'm doing. As he went up into his chest range, he was so intense, and I was loving those movements behind the mic stand. Then he bounced off the mic and took it to the crowd. I felt that performance. I just totally threw out my body. He was just doing everything, and I might have been, I don't remember, but I might have been moving along with him as he was doing his thing. Results. We found out that the first person on TeamJHud going forward is Davon Fleming, then Noah Mack, then Cheyenne Jones. Did she make the right decisions? You know what to do. TeamBlake started us off with Red Barlow. He did Chiseled in Stone by Vern Gosdin. And in rehearsal, Blake told him he made it seem too effortless and wanted to raise the key, which they did. On stage, Red was telling the story and Blake was singing along with him. I like how he clipped the ends of those phrases in the first verse, just gave the sentence a little bite and ache. The chorus was so comfortable and reminiscent of old country and western. There was something so comfortable and nostalgic about it. No fireworks, just a tender, earnest performance. TeamJHud told him he has a strong presence. Miley told him he had a chance of winning the show and said she loves his voice. Adam said he taps into truth and trust, saying he believes him when he sings. Then Chloe Cohancy took the stage. She did Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper, and Blake told her that his favorite thing about her voice is when it breaks, calling it gold. She was directing the band in rehearsal like Whitney Houston. She was like, you gotta hold it here. I was like, go ahead, old girl, do your thing. On stage, her voice was so close to Cyndi, but had less of like the high and more roundness. I was really enjoying her take on the lyrics, but wished that she would open her eyes now and then. Most of it, she just kept them closed, keeping all the emotion in. You know, she wasn't really sharing it with us. By the time the chorus came around, this was very comfortable in her voice, though it wasn't very different from the original. She has such a great feel and sound. The one big moment she had was a little short for me. I wanted a little more, you know what I'm saying? But it gave that good taste, and you leave them wanting more. It's better than giving them too much, you know what I'm saying? And I really liked her ending, the way she broke it down at the end. TeamJHud said she reminds her of so many different stars, but called her her own thing. Miley called her a punk rock queen. TeamBlake then had his comeback artist. It was Natalie Stovall, and she did Callin' Baton Rouge by Garth Brooks. And in rehearsal, Blake was just telling her to get the G into the lyric. After all, it is the title of the song. So Natalie started this out on stage playing the fiddle. She was enjoying herself up there, so whimsical, dancing and playing. She didn't give us the G the first time out, kind of, you know, flubbed over it, but she did do it the second time it came around, I noticed. I wasn't feeling the sound of her voice on this song, but was drawn into the fun she seemed to be having. TeamJHud said she enjoyed it. Miley called her a fun performer to watch and said she had a nice balance of vocals and playing. Adam called it cool and infectious. Ezra Tuala was up next. He did How Do I Live by LeAnn Rimes, and in rehearsal he wasn't quite getting on top of some of the notes, but it's so high. I mean, it's a female song, and he was trying to, and I was surprised that he was even getting close. On stage, Ezra is this big guy, and you saw this big silhouette, but he started out with such a sweet, soft tone. He was a little breathy, as if he was having a hard time, but he bit down and steadied himself by the time he hit the chorus. This honestly wasn't his best vocal on the show, and his flip into head voice wasn't on point on the high note. He nailed the long note, but I think he felt, I kind of see it in his face that he felt it wasn't going as well as he wanted to go, and he wasn't really giving the emotion that he usually portrays. TeamJHud said it was pitchy at the beginning, but he brought it home. Adam said he heard issues that were probably based on his nervousness. And then there was Mitchell Lee. He did Heaven by Bryan Adams, and in rehearsal Blake noticed some flat notes, and they decided to try to bring the song down a half step. On stage, I was really liking the ring to Mitchell's voice as he started this out. It looked like he was tapping into some memory and had a nice vibrato going here and there. He also picked up the mic stand at one point and just sang a little bit to the audience before bringing it back and sitting it down. He had really good stage presence and movement and gave us the big note center stage, but also seemed to be squeezing a bit, like here in his voice. He was kind of biting down, and it got kind of tight before he relaxed into the last few lines of the song. TeamJHud said it wasn't her favorite performance for him, saying it didn't settle till the very end. Miley said he showed everything he needed to show at a playoff. And in the pimp spot, we had Kesha Renee. She did Love Can Build a Bridge by the Judds. And in rehearsal, Blake told her not too much icing on the cake in the verses and told her to learn the phrasing like really clearly and save the ad-libs for the choruses. On stage, Kesha did keep the verse pretty simple as she started this out, but couldn't help floating up a few notes on the end of phrases. She went pretty straight into the first chorus and had that gospel fall off on a few of the notes. I really felt like I was in a church service, like she was doing the altar call or something, and she launched into the second half of the song and the background choir sounded off. This really was good, and I was ready to be converted. I was like, yes, come on, girl, come and get me. It really felt like a gospel song to me more than a country song. JHud called her the bridge of gospel and country. Adam said he'd never heard a version of the song anything like that. And then, results! We found out who was staying on Team Blake. First up, it was Kesha Renee, then Red Marlowe, and finally, Chloe Kohansky, the Steel, pulled an upset and she is staying on the show. Oh, was it a good show for you tonight? It was kind of long for me, but I was enjoying so many of the performances. Let me know what you thought of Team Blake versus Team JHud tonight. Also, let me know if the coaches made the right decisions in your opinion. This is Robert Anton, RobertAnton.com. I will see you tomorrow night for more of The Voice Playoffs. I'm out.